needlesscomplexityradio@gmail.com. Say what is on your mind. Enjoy the show. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Needless Complexity Show, where you get to hear me ramble and give halfway coherent film reviews. How are you today? Hope everyone is doing okay out there. I am currently in my car driving through Holly Hill, South Carolina. Holly Hill, South Carolina. That has been. I am on my way up to Baltimore to go visit family for Christmas holiday, and I got to tell you, not many things in my very uneventful life really are quite as enjoyable as driving a car. I love the road trip, love being behind the wheel, love feeling the wind in my hair that I don't have. But just dropping in on you, seeing how everybody's doing today. I've been hope you're doing all right out there. Hope you continue to do all right out there in radio land. But yeah, I'm on my way up to Maryland. The drive has been beautiful so far. I think the reason, I think part of the reason I enjoy driving in my car so much is it just feels like you're in your own little personal bubble. Feels like freedom. Freedom. I have no idea why I felt that. I really love being in the car and driving. Time to think, give me time to ponder, gives me time to contemplate whether I just want to quit my job and live in my car. Actually, honestly, I've been watching a lot of those van life videos. Like that's my new. That's the thing. I feel like every 6 months I'm on like a new YouTube rabbit hole. It's like I binge a certain type of video for like 6 months at a time, and then I like move on to the next thing. I don't know. Anybody else do that? And then it's just like everything, and then like you start going back and like looking through your history, and you start like seeing all the videos and stuff that you. Anyway, I'm on the van life. I'm on a van life kick right now, and I gotta tell you, it's. I feel like I could. I feel like I'm like I am one layoff away from just being like, fuck it, just packing everything up, putting it in the car, and just going for it. And I'm kind of like halfway kidding. You know, it in no way, I've never done it before, but there's a bunch of channels that I watch, and by no means does it feel like it doesn't seem like an easy way of life. In many ways, I think it maybe forces you to maybe live a little bit more technically. Just with the things that you have, and you know how you how you go about doing it. But I tell you, man, you know, to not have to worry about rent or utilities or a property management up your ass, or you know, just all of that nonsense. It kind of sounds pretty freeing, to be honest. And I love being on the road and I love traveling too. So, I mean, I have a small car, but I've slept in my car before on road trips before, and not. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but I feel like I could kind of do it. Like I feel like should Julian take this show on the road? Should the Needless Complexity show become a national road show? Did I take it on the road? Let me know. I don't know, man. I've been watching those videos and I'm kind of thinking to myself like that doesn't really seem like such a bad idea, you know? Um some might call it being homeless. Homeless by choice? Oh. Uh everything has a little bit of a better ring to it, say by choice. Yes, I'm celibate by choice. I don't even know why I said that. But anyway, um yeah, man, I think I've just been there's something about when you hit your 30s and you really start to, at least for me, you really start to put things into perspective. I think when you hit your 30s, you become way more incredibly aware of your mortal body because, it's like the age where it's like, okay, I either need to like really work on like preventative health care and taking care of myself, or there's some things that are probably going to stick with me. Whereas, like when you're in your 20s, or even before then, like I don't know. I feel like for me, like up until I was like 29, you've I've been very blessed to have overall generally good health, but you kind of don't really think about your health, and kind of just sort of have this sense that you like nothing can go wrong. That couldn't be further from the truth. But I think when you hit your 30s, you just really start to take much more inventory of your life. Kind of start wondering like what really matters, and maybe it's just because you're kind of in this place in your career where you've been doing what you've been doing for a while, and you start to maybe ask yourself like, hey, am I fulfilled doing this? Like, do I feel fulfilled in what I am doing for money, or do I feel fulfilled in the thing that I am literally devoting my life to, or most hours of my life on this planet to? And I think more than ever, I don't know. I just feel like I've taken all this. I don't know. Just thinking about like the important things, right? Like I don't hate what I do for work. I don't love what I do for work. I like what I do for work. Do I want to do what I'm doing for work for another 5 years? Absolutely not. Um, like, do I want to work for another technology company? No, I don't. And I know that's not just me, and I know it just doesn't. I think that's just across. It's just across like all, um, all. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just maybe because of sort of. I always say state of affairs, but just like no one can really afford anything, and I just feel like the quality of life in general for most people, I feel like, has really gone downhill like over the last decade, and maybe it makes those. I don't know. Maybe it just makes you take inventory a little bit better and think about the things that matter or don't matter. But I definitely am feeling like at this age of 34 going to 35, like what's the point? Like what is the point of like wearing yourself out for a company that could very obviously like replace you? Like that's why I always say like call me whatever, say whatever you want, but I did have um, I did actually come to a realization recently, and whatever job, like if I ever if I were to take a new job, so like if the job I'm working now, if if I were to find another job or do something differently, I don't think that I would give them. I don't really think I'd give them any more notice than like the end of, truthfully, um, or really depending like that day. I mean, if you can call me on Teams in the middle of the workday and lay me off and just like have that be that, then if I want to quit my job, I can resign effective immediately. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Like why do we have to be so like why do we have to give allegiance and be do things in a certain fashion for a company that for whatever reason, oh, okay, for financial reasons we're laying you off. Okay, well, for financial reasons I'm taking another job and today's my last day. How about that? I don't think that there's anything wrong with that at all either. I also don't think it is my responsibility to train other people to take my position. I don't think that's my responsibility either. Now, I will, like, while I'm working for you, I will 100% do my job and fulfill my duties, and I will do all that. But yeah, I'm kind of done with that also, and I also felt like I had like up until very recently, I had a lot of fear around like going above and beyond at work for like security purposes, right? Like if I do a great job, you know, I won't be on the chopping block for layoff. Well, guess what? I got laid off twice in 1 year from two jobs, and both of those jobs that I worked at, the feedback that I was given from like my project and all very positive. So you know, I'm coming. I'll come in. I'll do my job, and like that's it. And I've talked about this. This is only the third fucking. I haven't talked about this with anyone. No one's listening to this, by the way. This is literally me in my car. I'm on 95. I am now in Somerton, South Carolina, and I'm just driving and rambling like I always do. But there's been a shift in me, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I've been laid off twice before. It absolutely fucking sucks. Um, the first time I was able to get something about a month later. The second time I got something maybe about like 2 months later, and the time in between is just like absolute like panic and stress, fear, and I just really think the way that the job market operates right now just really it's just really unfortunate and really sad that people have to go through to be to put through such a ringer just to live, if that's even what you want to call it, right? Because let's be honest, it, you have to consider yourself very fortunate days if if you're able to work one job, and I'm not even saying like support other people. Like, let's let's not even take it as far as having a family. But if you have a job that pays you enough to take care of yourself, and we're not even bougie here. I'm talking like you can pay your rent, pay your bills, all right? You can pay for your subscription, all right? We need our bread and circus, all right? That's never going away. God forbid. But it's insane that in this country you are considered fortunate to be able to have a job that actually you can pay, you can be taken care of. That's what I'm trying to spit it out, Julian, spit it out, bud. But the I was talking to a friend. I was talking to a friend of mine, and you know what? It was an ex. All right, it was an ex. Lovely lady, by the way. Anyway, we were having a conversation, and she brought up like, and I say this like she brought up a really great point. Like, it should go without saying. I think that wherever you work, if you are going into work, fuck it. Even if you work remotely, or even like, I think that wherever you work, your job should pay you enough money. Your salary should cover rent and cost of living if you work, let's just say, within a 20-mile radius of your job. I think that people deserve to be able to afford where they live. Like, you shouldn't have to live on the other side of town just to be able to make ends meet. There was like some video that was like going around like a week or so ago. It was like some guy that, what did he like, work in Chicago, or I think he like worked in Chicago and like commuted to Atlanta. Was he like fucking? What was he like? I think he was like actually flying. I think he was actually flying to work, like flying to and from work. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. And I think the thing that is so like dark about all of this is like, this is not really being taken seriously whatsoever on like, Julian is over here running his mouth, missing his exit. Dang. Wait, that is the last second. Alright. Actually, you know what? This is like the scariest. Okay. So I have an electric. I'm all over. Here, I need a little moral. I remember this charge. So I have a little electric car, and I have to drive up. Cars work. But there is this charger in Somerton, South Carolina, and this is my second time coming, but it's out of Derry, and it is the absolute scariest charger that I've been, like, the entire time. Every time I come to this one, I'm like praying. I pray time, because this charger literally looks like something like, I feel like Jason up. And all right, hold on. All right, I'm back. Had to plug her in. But yeah, it's just really sad. Really, really sad. It's really sad. Live in evidently, apparently, the richest country in the world. You know, what? More than half the country, what was the statistic? Like half, most people, over 10% of people couldn't even afford like a $1,000 like expense that was outside. What the fuck? It's absolutely horrible. But guess what? Guess what? Brock can roast people at the party. We can create AI videos. Huh? We've got AI companions. It's all good. Don't worry. It's absolutely insane. Data center coming near you. All right, I got to get off the top. But oh, is anybody keeping up with Pluribus? Pluribus? I was talking a lot of shit in the first episode about Pluribus, and I was going back and listen. I'll be honest. I went back and listened to that episode that I did, and I think I was going a little. I feel like I went a little hard on. Um, I don't know. I think I might be like two or I think I'm like one or two behind. Um, and I don't know, man. It's like I feel like if there's a show or a movie that I'm like super into, it's very easy. It's very easy for me to come back. Very, very easy to come back to it. But there's just something about Blurb, and I don't know why I keep bringing it up. You know what I think it is? I think it's. I don't know why the show isn't really sticking with me. I think that's what it. I think that's why I'm so like. I think that's what's throwing me off. Like I can't figure out what it is about the show that not that I'm not sold on. I don't know. Like I really have no idea. I don't get it. Like I get on social media and I see everyone talking about it and like everyone is like everyone loves it and right so and I'm not trying to be a contrarian although people have called so maybe I'm just being a contrarian, and you know what I accept that's the deal. But I don't know. I just feel like there's something about it that not maybe it's because I'm like comparing it to Breaking Bad and I'm not letting its own thing, which is not fair. Um, really not. But I don't know. Or I yeah, and I'll go back and I'll say what I said. I don't even know why I'm talking about. No, I don't know why I'm bringing it up. Uh, maybe I just talked out. But there's just something about it. Like I can't find the soul. Where is the soul? I think that's what it is. I feel like the show doesn't have a soul. I said it. There, I said it. I don't know why, but there's just something about it that just feels a little sterile and like cold. And maybe that's the point. Like I know the main character, I know Carol is kind of cold and you know not very warm or what, but I kind of and maybe it's because all the people are the same person. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're just doing a wonderful job at like just setting the setting the atmosphere, and it's just go. Maybe I'm just not getting. But anyway, enough of that. But yeah, just wanted to. I don't know. I was driving and I was watching and this stuff. I'm all over. And you know what? You guys are just gonna have to. For the one person that's watching, uh, maybe I will get a little bit better at making videos a bit more linear and concise, but this is just the way my brain works. Sorry, that's just who I am. Um, but I was watching her video, or I guess Hey, if you don't hear, this is episode 3, so if you don't get a 4, come to Sumterton, South Carolina. Come to the Texaco Dairy Queen. I guess it's very fun. But as I talk about family, am I built for this? Maybe I'm not even built for this. All right, well, I guess I'll be signing a new lease in February. But I don't know. It's a crazy world, it's a crazy time. I really hope everybody out there is doing all right. Everyone who out there is trying to figure it out. Hey, look, you got out of bed this morning and you made a thing or two happen. Like that's really that's popping in on everybody. Hope everybody has a wonderful holiday. Whatever angry that just allow yourself all allow yourself to be human. You're emotional being with feeling, with thoughts. We long for people. We feel pain, really do, no matter what you might think, feel pain. But if you're going through something, if you're feeling something, allow yourself to feel it. Jump in that ocean. All right? What is the benefit of being good at your job or doing your job well? What is the benefit? Like how are we rewarded now for doing our job at an above satisfactory level, right? Like showing up on time, delivering good quality work, managing your time well, taking on a few extra tasks, helping your team members out, being a team player. What really is the benefit of that anymore? Because it seems like when you do that, you're just given more work. Like it kind of just feels like now, like the point, it's all just like how much work can a company wring out of you before you're just used up and dried up, and then they fucking let you go. Like whatever happened to, and I think maybe this speaks to a bigger picture, or maybe even this hustle culture. Like whatever happened to being like average? Like whatever happened to just being middle of the road? It seems like, to me, it just seems this way to me, but it feels like in everything you do now, there's just this insane competitive edge to absolutely everything. You have to be the absolute best at everything in order to basically survive. And the only reward you get is just more work. Like whatever happened to just coming in, doing your job, or maybe you're not like shooting for the moon, but you're certainly getting tasks done, and just clocking out for the day and just letting that be that. But it feels like in this culture, you basically have to like fight for survival just to stay in good graces of a company that you work for, or else like you're not shit. And you know, I 100% am an advocate for challenging yourself and striving to do better and wanting to do better. But I just think that human beings we're a little I just feel like we weren't designed to be firing at absolutely full pistons in everything that we do, right? Like if you're not investing, if you're not gambling your money away in the stock market, right? Like whatever happened in just having like you have a 401k, all right? Take a little bit out of your paycheck, your 401k goes up, you can retire nice and easy. But now basically you try to have a conversation with somebody and they're like, "Well, are you investing? Well, what are you investing in?" And I think that is a very unhealthy mindset to be in. Like like chasing money, like chasing a bag. Like why does everything have to be so hustle focused, right? Like if you've got your 9 to 5 job, but outside of your 9 to 5 job, you've got to basically be a day trader. And if you're not doing that, you basically have to be content creating, right? And I think it is, in my opinion, it is some of the most toxic, um, dystopian, sad, depressing way to live your life. I just don't feel like humans were designed to like every waking minute of your life has to be some kind of move. You always have to be making some kind of move. Like you always have to be continually improving in some way or fashion. I just don't think that that's the way. I don't think that that's the way our lives are supposed to be lived. And yeah, it's really frustrating how normalized that is in the workplace right now. I was just thinking about that today. It's basically like there is no job security anymore. I haven't felt secure in a job pretty much ever. And you basically have to become an overachiever just to maintain a status quo, right? And then the second your employer finds out that you're capable of a little bit more, you've got a little extra capacity, they just lay it on you and that becomes the new norm. And then as soon as you get a little bit burnt out, you're fucking gone. I just can't buy into it, man. I cannot buy into this hustle culture. It's like work or die. I just don't think that's the way that we were meant to live our lives. I don't know, just a thought. What do you think, right? Am I crazy? Is this just, the way it is? Am I getting old? Um and then on top of that, no one can afford anything. So like what are we working so hard for? Like I could understand it if there was like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but there ain't shit. You know what's at the end of the rainbow? More work, another assignment, another deliverable, another sync, another touch base. You know, fuck that. Oh, Julian just came in from a walk, finished up the workday, had to walk that one off. Jesus Christ. You ever just sit there sometimes after you finish up your workday, you sit there at your desk for a few minutes and you just kind of just like say like what the fuck just happened? You're like shell shocked. That's how I feel every day. I don't know what the hell's going on. Did I add enough value to the shareholders today? Did I create enough value for those at the top? The company that I work for, we had they called it an all hands. An all hands. That was basically the end of the year company meeting, all hands. And I don't like the wording of that because it makes it sound like they need my help. I am not interested in helping this company out any more than my 40 hours that I put in. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. So last year, uh, I work for a technology company. What else is new? Doesn't everyone? And last year they had thrown this big extravagant uh, party. Flew everybody in, paid for their plane tickets. I believe everyone stayed at. It was nice. It was quite a spread. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then 2025 happened, and we didn't get any of that this year. You know what we got? We got an all hands meeting on a Friday afternoon over Google Meet, and that's all we got. And I already know they're not giving out raises or bonuses this year because it was almost like an ad. Like they threw in like a little 20-second presentation from the HR lady, and she said, if you want to submit your informal review, here are the dates. And everybody knows what review time is. It's when you submit your self-assessment and you find out if you're getting $5 more or not. But I'm assuming that was also code for y'all ain't getting raises or bonuses this year. And here's the thing, right? Like, I get it. The company that I work for, we were affected by the government shutdown. I totally understand. For some reason, it has been decided upon that every year companies need to do better year over year over year, no matter what, at the expense of anyone's salary who's in the way. But I get it. It was a tough year. People got laid off. The government shut down. We weren't sure if we were getting any new projects. Cool. All right, I get it. We have a tough time. But the thing that was really frustrating about it is when we had this little all hands meeting, the first person, and this is how you know it's never a good sign, when the first person that is speaking on these company calls is someone from the financial office or the revenue office, or if it's the revenue officer, it's a wrap. Start looking for another job, all right? First of all, I couldn't even understand what the guy was saying because he was throwing out so much fucking corporate jargon and, scaling and optimizing and, all this. And I'm like, listen, why are you talking strategy to, like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. And, then they want to sit there and tell you, like, look for opportunities to, sell the customer. Like, you're in sales. So it's a tale as old as time. I'm not telling anyone anything new here whatsoever. But I think what makes, and it could just be me, all right, I'm only speaking from my experiences, mine and mine only, but if your company has a tough year, just like, how about maybe you just be forthcoming? I'm willing to bet that your employees will have so much more respect for you if you just come out and say, hey, look, we had a really tough year this year. Obviously, last year we did great. We lost some contracts. The shutdown kind of threw a wrench into things. This year, we're not going to be able to do performance reviews. That's it. I'm an adult. I can handle it. Listen, would I gladly take a bonus or a raise? Absolutely, all right? But I am grateful to be working and have a job, all right? I am grateful. But like, can it just be that simple? Like, can't you just tell people the truth? And I think what's insulting is the fact that they think that you're eating it up. They're spoon feeding you. 2025 word, the slop, right? They're serving you the slop, and you're eating it right up. And I'm gonna be honest, it's like really disrespectful. I feel disrespected um, when because it's almost just like, okay, like, do you think I'm stupid? Like, we're adults here. Like, we like obviously we can handle tough news. But so everybody and their mother is getting on, and you're an all-star, and this team did great, and this and that, and that, and then the CEO, he gets on and, like, for the last minute of the call, and talks about strategy and how he gets his ideas while he's walking his dog. What? I don't know. It's like, it's just like really distasteful. But what else is new? What else is new? You know what my job is to do? My job is to shut the fuck up. All right. Maximize shareholder value. All right. And take home my crumbs. So that is what I'm going to continue to do. Like a good little worker bee. Well, hello everyone. I'm back. Hope everybody is doing all right. So I have good news and I have bad news. So I'll start with the bad news. So the bad news is, unfortunately, Julian doesn't have. I don't have a review to give you guys this afternoon. I've been so busy with work and traveling and all of that, and I just didn't get around to watching a movie. But the good news is, you all still get to hear me crackle and pop into this microphone for the next few minutes. So no harm, no foul, right? And look, I get it. Every single time I'm going back and editing these videos, I am cringing at the production quality. You see, I'm trying to sound a little bougie. It's not sound quality. It's production quality. And really, what that means is, I have a very shitty microphone that I bought off of Amazon that I plug into my phone. And yeah, I just really can't figure out how to get the gain right. But what are you gonna do? I'm remaining consistent. That's the thing. All right. So if you guys, and by you guys, one listener, or maybe half listener, because it's really just me listening to these. But if you can't handle me at my worst, at my shitty, crackling, clipping microphone, then you can't handle me at my best. All right? And I don't even know what my best is. I'm doing my best. That's my best. I'm doing my best. But yeah, I'm gonna be getting a new mic. I'm gonna work on getting a new mic. I'm in my research phase right now, so hopefully my quality of content will be much easier on the ears. But yeah, just wanted to pop back in and just chop it up for a minute. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch a movie like I had mentioned. I have a lot of movies on my list that I'm trying to get to by the end of the year. But to be quite honest with you, I think the way that work is going for me right now, and just with traveling and some other things that I have going on, it's just not looking like I'm going to be able to get to everything. But speaking of great things, it's like a segue there. Speaking of wonderful things, there actually, you know what? There is a movie that has been on my mind lately, and it's another one I liked, but I can't figure it out. I'm putting it in the pluribus bucket. I cannot get off of that show. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's just it. The show just comes in so subtly. Um, but I was thinking about movies from the last couple of years that got a lot of recognition, did really well. The people on Letterbox couldn't stop talking about it because Letterbox obviously is the source of truth. Um, but yeah, I was looking back at the movies that had just kind of won a lot of awards over the last couple years, and one that I was thinking about was Anora. Anora. And I believe that came out, that was 2024, I believe. And for those of you who may or may not know, Anora swept during the awards season, right? I think it won like Best Picture. I don't even know if the young lady won Best Actress. Maybe she did. I'm not sure. But it swept. It every award, they created awards for this movie. I think they actually created Oscar categories just so this movie could sweep. So here were some of my thoughts, because I came into the party really late. I actually watched Anora like a couple of months ago. And the reason why is I feel like unless it's something that I am super, super, super excited about seeing, or like really piques my interest, I really try my best to be a little bit late to the party when it comes to watching movies, because I don't like to be influenced. I like to draw my own conclusion. I like to do my own research. All right. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. But no, I think, social media tends to create a lot of buzz. Sometimes I think that social media can create artificial buzz. Everyone's talking about it, everyone's engaging. But let's be honest. It really just comes down to, is the product good? Is the piece good? Is the art good, or is it not? I think it's very easy to hype things up these days. And, I try not to be too influenced by a lot of the noise that gets created around this. So, and the same thing with the Oscars, right? I don't really look at the Oscars as a serious thing, truthfully. I don't think that the Oscars are the ultimate end all be all sources of truth of great artwork, cinematic art. I just don't think so. I think maybe at one point they were. I think there was a point in time for many years where it was focused strictly on the art, but it seems like that isn't so much the case anymore. I feel like the Oscars are a little bit more of an inclusion party, right? Maybe it's who's maybe who's trying to promote who. I don't know. I don't work in Hollywood. I don't know anything about Hollywood, but I think it's just like an average guy who sits in his car talking on his phone. It just seems like all of these award shows and things like that, they're not they are not objectively focused on the art. It seems like they're more focused on um, you know, who's doing what and what's popular, or what who is being propped up. I don't know. But anyway, is it a bad thing? I don't know. I don't know. I think there can be a little bit of bureaucracy and everything, right? We need our bureaucracy, all right? What good is any institution without bureaucracy? But anyway, I digress on that, and let me just step off of this little soapbox. But having said all that, all right, and if you haven't picked it up by now, I go on really long, unnecessary tangents. But having said that, coming back to Anora, which, as I mentioned, swept across the board at the Oscars. And I watched it. I watched it a couple of months ago. And here's what I'll say. I liked it. I did not dislike it. I thought it was a good movie. I think Sean Baker does a really good job at a lot of things. He does a really great job at like pulling the audience into scenarios, in telling stories and representing, maybe social groups that aren't necessarily represented on a mainstream level. I think he does a really great job at making you feel like you're a fly on the wall in these communities that maybe otherwise you would absolutely know nothing about. I think he's really good at creating great settings, great atmospheres, um, picking up culture. I don't even think the guy hires actors. I'm going to be honest with you. Uh, I always feel like Sean Baker movies, he just like pulls in a bunch of the locals and he's like, "Hey, are you available on this day to just kind of live your life?" And but I think that's a really great thing. I don't think that movies necessarily need it doesn't have to be filled with A-listers and and actors and industry people. I think that having people on screen living out their real experiences and being able to capture that. Maybe he's just a documentarian. Is that what he is? Is Sean Baker just a documentarian? Does he just make documentaries? Is that what it is? Or maybe that's what it is. But anyway, Anora. I thought it was good. I thought the story was okay. I don't think I was necessarily interested in the subject matter, but that's just me. I don't. It's that has nothing to that's like not at all like a knock to the story. But I think Sean Baker did something really incredible with Tangerine, which was like his first movie that really got him on the map. He follows around these two characters and it's just chaotic, it's a mess, but it's also very wholesome, and it's a feel good movie. And I kind of feel like he does that's sort of his thing, right? It's sort of like you're following around these characters in their day to day, but there was something about Anora, in my opinion, that just felt a little too over the top and beyond realistic. Yeah, I think there were very very long periods of just sort of ranting and kerfuffle and just back and forth and arguing between characters that I don't really think did anything for the story. Truthfully, I felt like the movie could have been like 45 minutes to an hour shorter, and I would have gotten it. I would have understood what was happening. And but it also does sort of give this sort of dramatic sort of uh improvisational raw aesthetic to the film, which I can totally understand and see how people would really jive with that. But I don't know, it just felt a little bit much. I didn't think the acting was good. I want to be honest with you. But I also don't necessarily think the acting has been great in any of his other films either. But this one particularly, I felt it just felt a little chaotic. It felt a little flat, and it felt long. I felt like by the end of the movie, I was just like very exhausted and wanting it to be over. I think, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't interested in any of the characters whatsoever, and I found pretty much mostly everybody to be really annoying. And I sound like a hater right now, and I know that maybe I'm just not getting it, but I think objectively, um, it was just okay. I think they also did like there was like also a lot of like I think he was bringing a lot of awareness, by telling this story, awareness to people that work in that field, in that industry. And I 100% believe that everyone's story should be told. And I think it was very ambitious of him. I do think that there was a lot of artistic value. I think his movies are very, very, very pleasing to the eyes and incredibly like visually palatable. And that's just one of his strong suits. But yeah, I don't know. This one was just kind of, I don't know. I felt like the movie was annoying. Anora. Yeah, so that's my take on that. What am I at? 13 minutes here. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much longer. This is the middle of my day, so, the recording is all out of whack for this episode, but I did want to just get something out there for the one person that listens. But yeah, that's that. I think I'm going to leave it at that today. I'm going to get back to real life, and I'll check back in on you guys next week. Again, hope you all are having a wonderful holiday season. I hope you guys are doing all right. I really do hope you continue to do all right out there in Radio Land, and I will catch you the next time. Take care, everyone. All right, everyone. So I've realized when editing today's episode, the first portion, when I'm driving, the audio takes an insane nosedive, and I think that was due to just very poor signal and my microphone just crapping out. So if you are able in any way to power through that train wreck, good on you. But yeah, that really sucks. But just another reason for me to invest in better equipment. So that will be a first order of business for mine. I'm going to get a better mic and get my ish together. But I just wanted to get something out and remain consistent with this, whatever it is at this point. But yeah, apologize about the audio quality. That is just, it's horrible. But yeah, again, really appreciate everyone listening. I had a lot of fun making this episode, and I'll catch you on the next time. All right, bye.